post-Assad Syria has become the hottest commodity on the geopolitical market, and the man at its center, Ahmad Al-Sharaa, has gone from terrorist blacklist to power broker in less than a year. In the span of 1 month, he climbed the grand stairs of the Kremlin and slipped through a side door at the White House. Same Syrian leader. Two very different welcomes. Our report examines what these contrasting optics reveal about the new great game for Syria. Moscow's confidence versus Washington's caution. Syria's new leader, Ahmad Al-Sharaa, is being courted by both superpowers. But the choreography of his welcomes tells vastly different stories about who holds the cards. Syria sits at the crossroads of the Middle East, bordered by Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel. Whoever influences Damascus influences the region, and both Trump and Putin know it. The courtship began in May, when President Trump first met Al-Sharaa in Saudi Arabia. It was brief, on camera, and significant enough to startle Moscow. The man once known as Abu Muhammad al-Jolani, with a $10 million US bounty on his head, was now shaking hands with the American president. October 15th, Moscow. Al-Sharaa arrives at the Kremlin for his meeting with Vladimir Putin. Watch closely. This is the Grand Kremlin Palace. Al-Sharaa walks up the ceremonial stairs with his delegation, a choreographed arrival designed for cameras. Nothing is hidden, everything is transparent. Inside, Putin welcomes him like an old friend, and crucially, Russia releases the full, uncut video of their conversation.
A special relationship has developed between our countries over many decades. Over the last 80 years, we have maintained diplomatic ties, established in 1944 in the most difficult times for Russia and the Soviet Union. Russia has never had any relations with Syria that were linked to our political situation or political interests. Throughout all these decades, we have always been guided by one thing: the interests of the Syrian people.
Putin's message is clear. Russia has been Syria's partner for 8 decades. We were here, we are here, we're staying. Al-Sharaa responds in kind, even joking about the famous Kremlin stairs.
Thank you, Mr. President, for having such long stairs. It's good that I do sports and can come here without feeling exhausted.
The comfort level is obvious. Putin emphasizes historical ties. 4,000 Syrian students currently study in Russia, hundreds of Russian-Syrian families connected by marriage. This isn't a first date. This is a long-term relationship being reset.
Today we are living in a new era of a new Syria. We are trying to reintroduce this new Syria to the world and to re-establish political and strategic relations with all regional and international countries, at the forefront of which will also be the Russian Federation, because there are ancient historical ties and many things connect us.
The meeting is cordial, relaxed, and most importantly, fully visible. Russia has nothing to hide. Putin already has military bases in Syria. He's not asking for permission. He's asserting continuity. Fast forward to November 10th, Washington. Al-Sharaa is now heading to the White House, the first Syrian president to visit since Syria gained independence in 1946. Given Trump's usual playbook, the handshakes, the Oval Office photo ops, the joint remarks to cameras, the world expected a spectacle. It didn't happen. No arrival footage at the main entrance, no ceremonial walk, no cameras capturing Al-Sharaa's motorcade pulling up to the iconic North Portico where foreign leaders typically arrive. Instead, Al-Sharaa was brought in through a side gate, away from view. The only images released? A handful of still photographs from the Syrian and US presidencies. They show the meeting happened. Al-Sharaa sitting next to Vice President J.D. Vance, across from President Trump in the Oval Office. Handshakes and smiles, yes, but no video of the bilateral itself, no joint press conference, no door spray remarks standing side by side. Compare this to virtually any other Trump bilateral. The pageantry is Trump's signature, but not this time. The optics were deliberately muted. Trump's comments came later, separately, when reporters were allowed back into the Oval Office.
Well, I've had an agreement with him. He's a very strong leader. He comes from a very tough place, and he's a tough guy. I liked him. I get along with him, the new president of Syria. And we'll do everything we can to make Syria successful, because that's part of the Middle East. And people said he's had a rough past. We've all had rough pasts. But he has had a rough past, and I think, frankly, if you didn't have a rough past, you wouldn't have a chance.
Notice the defensive tone? We've all had rough pasts. Trump knows this is politically sensitive. Al-Sharaa's history with Al-Qaeda, the bounty, the terrorism's designation, all of it just months old. Al-Sharaa himself addressed his past in a separate Fox News interview.
I was only 19 years old, so I was a very young person, and it didn't have any decision-making power at that time, and I don't have anything to do with it. And Al-Qaeda was not present right then in my area. So you're speaking to the wrong person about this subject.
So what did Trump offer Al-Sharaa behind those closed doors?
We talked about lifting the sanctions. We talked about the president and the future. We talked about the investment opportunities in the future in Syria, and so that Syria is no longer looked at as a security threat. It is now looked at as a geopolitical ally, and it's a place where the United States can have great investments, especially extracting gas.
Investment. Gas extraction, economic opportunity. The language is purely transactional. Washington is offering deals. Putin offers history. The US did announce concrete moves. Syria joined the global coalition against ISIS as its 90th member. And the Syrian embassy in Washington will resume operations.
Yeah, you can expect some announcements on Syria. We want to see Syria become a country that's very successful, and I think this leader can do it. I really do. I think this leader can do it.
But even Trump's praise is conditional. I think he can do it. Not, we have a long partnership. like Putin said. So what do these contrasting welcomes tell us? The optics reveal a fundamental difference in leverage and strategy. Putin welcomed Al-Sharaa like an old friend returning home, because Russia never left Syria. The Khmeimim air base, the Tartus naval base, Russian forces are embedded. Putin doesn't need to prove anything. He can afford grandeur, transparency, even jokes about stairs. Trump welcomed Al-Sharaa like a promising but risky business partner. Through the side door, away from cameras, with carefully managed messaging. The relationship is brand new. The domestic politics are fraught. Al-Sharaa's past is too recent. Trump needs plausible deniability while still seizing the opportunity. Both superpowers want Syria. Both see it as a strategic prize in the Middle East. But their approaches couldn't be more different. Moscow says, "We've been your partner for 80 years. We're staying." Washington says, "We can offer you investment and legitimacy. Let's make a deal."